The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Matinee Madness. Matinee Madness is presented by the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center, Hagemeyer Farms, and Eldorado Scioto Downs. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Mercer County Fairgrounds and Salina, Ohio for our first Matinee Madness. We hoped to have one last weekend, but Mother Nature decided she didn't want one, so we move our first one here to Salina. And Susan, this is a big day for these trainers, owners, and for these young horses.
Yes, it's always exciting the first time they are behind the gate. A lot of them, it's the first time they've ever left home, so it's a pretty exciting day.
We have 14 races here today. Now, we're not going to show the whole race. We're going to probably pick up the race from the last 3/8, last quarter of the mile. But we've got some interviews planned for you, so you'll be able to meet some of the people here associated with the matinee as we move forward. But we're looking to a great day of racing here at the Mercer County Fairgrounds. When we return, we'll have the first of our 14 races right after this.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
For 4 generations, Hagemeyer Farms has been caring for and breeding standardbred racehorses. Hagemeyer Farms is home to a roster of champion stallions, including Western Terror, sired at 12, that have earned over $1 million. Lane of Stone, a multiple Ohio Sire Stakes winner at 2 and 3. Heart of Chewbacca, standing his first year at Hagemeyer Farms, holds the 3-year-old pacing record for the fastest mile on any 5/8 mile track in Ohio. And Rodeo Romeo, a half-brother to Millionaire Stallion Check 6. Hagemeyer Farms, looking to stand the next great stallion in Ohio. Welcome back to the Mercer County Fairgrounds as we get set for our first race of today's matinee. The man who's going to be starting it all is Mike Woebkenburg. And earlier today, Susan had a chance to catch up with Mike.
We're here with the man who starts the excitement at all the fairs. What's it mean to you to be here and start the summer off at Salina?
Look, I really like the colt schooling. This is our future. It's so nice to watch these babies that they come to the gate scared to death, and by the time you put 2 or 3 miles on them, it's their buddy. And the exciting thing to me is looking at colts, and we might have the next Bulldog Hanover out here today. We don't know that. But this is the future of our industry. If these colts get a good experience behind the gate today, it could feasibly affect them for the next 12 years. Mm-hmm. And that's why these are so important. People need to come out and see this, because this is the part of our industry that nobody understands. And it's very, very important, and it's a great time.
What do you do a little bit different with these colts than you do if you're later on in the summer?
These colts are not going as fast, so we go a lot slower. If a colt makes a break leaving the gate, I normally will pick him up and go another half with him so he has a good experience, because I think that good experience is such an important aspect of this industry. Our horses are a totally different individuals than they were 20, 30 years ago. They're just a great animal, and people don't understand what fantastic and superb athletes they are.
Well, there we are with the unsung hero of harness racing.
Back with Susan Schroeder. And Susan, Mike gets really excited about days like this, doesn't he?
He does. He is a man who loves harness racing through and through.
Well, the first race today, we have 4 entered. They're all Indiana breds, but we've got some Ohio owners.
Yes, and this is a 2.5 to 2.10 pace, so they're going to try and shoot somewhere in between that. One horse is called Vel Bud. It's a 2-year-old gelding by Hypnotic Blue Chip out of the Epic Journey, owned by King Racing Stable out of Wilshire, Ohio, and Benjamin Schwartz is going to be the driver. The 2 is Some Happy Pacer. This is a 3-year-old gelding by Check 6 out of So Long My Love. Jerry Swartz is the owner and Henry Graber is the driver. Yes, I Did is a 3-year-old gelding by Shady Shark Hanover out of the mare Oh No You Didn't. Mandy Jones owns and will drive this horse, and this, as I said, is the 3-year-old. Schwartz Brothers Emily is a 3-year-old filly, another Indiana bred. Driver will be Henry Graber Jr. and Jerry Schwartz is the owner, so Jerry has an entry in this race.
Well, and Mandy Jones, the only female driver today on the matinee, and we caught up with Mandy before, and we'll have an interview with Mandy a little later today. So let's pick up the action of the first race from the Salina matinee.
They're on their way to the 5/8. It's Some Happy Pacer, the leader. Vel Bud is on the leader's wheel. Second, Yes I Did is third. Schwartz Bros Emily trails the field up the backside of the 3/4. The leader, Some Happy Pacer. The outside, Vel Bud is second. Yes I Did is locked in third. Schwartz Bros Emily trails the field fourth. The entry of the far turn, 3/4 and 1:35 and 2. Around the final turn, the leader, Some Happy Pacer, with the lead by a length. Yes I Did is second. Vel Bud is third. Schwartz Bros Emily is fourth. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. Some Happy Pacer has the lead and opens up. Some Happy Pacer to take the first. Home second, Yes I Did, finishing third. Vel Bud fourth. Schwartz Bros Emily.
First race is in the books, and the winner, Some Happy Pacer.
Yep, Some Happy Pacer is a Check 6 out of the mare So Long My Love. Did go a little bit faster than the time bar. Time bar was 2.5 to 2:10, and they ended up going in 2.3 and 2. So Some Happy Pacer, your winner. Yes I Did, finished second. Vel Bud was third, and Schwartz Bros Emily was fourth. Fractions for that mile were 34, 105 and 2, 135 and 2, and 2.3 and 2. Nice last quarter for these horses.
Do the trainers look at this, and we're going to have Ryan Miller on a little later and maybe ask him this, do the trainers look at this as a hard mile, or is it just let's try to stay flat, get these young horses around the track?
I think that is the most important thing, to stay flat and have a very good experience behind the gate, because as Mike Woebkenburg has said, this could determine how they act behind the gate for years. So he wants them, the trainers want them, and Mike wants them to have a very good experience.
Now when you say that, a bad experience, kind of just like a bad experience a kid might have riding a bike and falling off.
Yeah, yep. Or they may hit the gate and hit it with their nose, and that'll scare them, and then they won't gonna go up really close to it later on. So it's extremely important to have that great first impression.
Well, let's take a look at our second race for today. We will have, again, another, this one is going to be a trot, a 2:10 to a 2:15 time bar for the trot, and we've got 4 horses again in this field.
We've got the one horse is Grover Hill. It's a What the Hill out of the mare Hurricane Hazel, owned by Sean McGee, and driver will be Ty Bates. This horse sold at the Buckeye Classic sale for $10,000 and is a full brother to one that's made $48,000. The 2-horse joint Enterprise, a 2-year-old colt by Enterprise, out of I Got a Feeling. Alan Vorhees owns this colt, and Bruce Schmitz is down to drive. This horse sold for $24,000 at the Ohio Selected sale, but it is a half-brother to a bunch of good ones. Broadway Sox, 154 and 2. That Old Barstool, 152 and 4. And Glider Mad, 56 and 4. And cumulatively, they have made over $500,000, those three. And the 3-horse So So Sorry out of, by Team 6 out of Oh So So. Kelly and David Myers are the owners. David is going to drive. This colt sold at the Buckeye, or the Blooded Horse sale, excuse me, for $7,000, and is a half sister to So Wishful. It's got a mark of 56 and made $104,000. And we have an add-in horse. The 4-horse is Jailhouse Yankee, a 3-year-old colt. Henry Graber Jr. will drive, and Jerry Swartz is the owner.
And these owners and trainers are hoping that these live up to what some of their half-siblings have done, winning over $100,000.
Exactly. That's what we're looking at today. We're going to talk about the half-siblings a lot, because that's all we know about these horses right now. We don't know what they're going to do on the track, so we're going to talk about their pedigrees.
Well, let's take a look at the action from our second race today, a trot with a time bar of 2:10 to 2:15.
They're on their way to the 5/8. The leader, Jailhouse Yankee, by a length. Grover Hill is second. So Sorry is third. Joint Enterprise trails now only 5 from the front as they head to the 3/4. It is Jailhouse Yankee with the lead. Grover Hill is second. So Sorry. Joint Enterprise chasing those leaders from 4th. They're into the far turn. Jailhouse Yankee into the turn. Grover Hill is second. So Sorry. Joint Enterprise 142. They're into the far turn. It is Jailhouse Yankee by 3. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. Grover Hill is second. So Sorry third. Joint Enterprise trails 4th. Inside the final 8th mile, Jailhouse Yankee. Grover Hill is second. Coming to the line, Jailhouse Yankee. Grover Hill home second. So Sorry third. And Joint Enterprise fast closing 4th.
It was the late entry Jailhouse Yankee that came home the winner in our second race, a trot in 2:14 and 2/5, right in that 5-second range that they were hoping to be.
Yes, Jailhouse Yankee was the only 3-year-old in the race, so did come over the 2-year-olds. Grover Hill was second. Joint Enterprise was 4th. So Sorry was 3rd.
You said the only 3-year-old in this race. How much more mature are those 3-year-olds than the 2 that have been out there and have done it?
I think it really depends on the individual. Some 3-year-olds just are natural. Of course, they're going to be more mature body-wise, and some of them mind-wise. Some of them not, though. Some of them are very young 3-year-olds. I think it's so helpful when somebody has started a couple times as a 2-year-old. That makes their 3-year-old season so much easier to get going.
Well, 2 races are in the books. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will have race number 3 from Salina, Ohio, and the Matinee today.
Racing is back at El Dorado Scioto Downs. Catch the excitement all summer long in the new grandstands. Live racing every Tuesday through Saturday nights. Tuesday and Wednesday post time is 3:15. Thursday through Saturday, the first race post time is 5:50. Mark your calendar to see the future stars with a $150,000 Next Generation on July 1st. Horse players earn points with the new Caesars Rewards program. El Dorado Scioto Downs. Live racing is back.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Welcome back to the Mercer County Fairgrounds, joined now by Rusty Vorhees. First off, welcome to the OHHA board. You're now a new board member, and that's got to be exciting.
Thank you. Yes, it is, Frank. I was asked last fall, I think, that the former director just didn't have time. His job was interfering, and they're looking for a new face, and asked if I'd be interested. I said, sure, I would. I'm retired now. I've got only one horse to do, and I've got plenty of free time, and I'll help what I can when I can. So yeah, I'm excited. I've went to the annual banquet, and I've had one meeting under my belt, and the next one is coming up in July, I think, at Scioto Downs. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And they feed you good when you go there, so that's worth something.
What goes into putting on a matinee like this?
Well, we start in the wintertime, actually, and basically all our contacts are the same. The fire department comes out with the ambulance, but we got to call the sound man and the race announcer, which we're lucky. Doug Ballinger's from right here in Salina, and he's home from Florida by the first part of May, so he's available. So it's a series of phone calls, and then the entries and certain things like that, and making sure that we've got everything procured. We've got the VFW stand over here that the ladies have their excellent home cooked meal, or food I should say, and yeah, it's work, but yeah, we've been at it for this is the 52nd time we've done it, so it's pretty much down to a science. So it's pretty much runs itself, although we've got to do it, I should say. Or the plans are all there. But
Any worry last night looking at the weather map at all?
none whatsoever. None. I've told people this week with a laugh. I said the only thing that stops Salina or Mercer County from racing is ice, snow, and lightning. We won't go in no amount of rain can kind of hold us up. It's a limestone track and take about anything. And people were calling this morning, you gonna race, you gonna race. Well, yes, we're gonna race, and and what if it's raining? Well, unless it's pouring down rain, we'll not cancel, but we'll postpone, a few hours, because the radar looked like it was gonna come through in a couple hours and go off. But so far, I guess the good Lord is looking down on us, and we got through it. So
you had mentioned you've got one horse, that's Joint Enterprise, just raced in the second race. Were you happy with what you saw?
Yeah, I was happy. He went around there with no accidents or no braking of any sort, and although I'd have trained him faster than he went today, but I had Bruce Schmidt on him. Hopefully he can drive him at the fairs and maybe in the Buckeye, but just wanted to get somebody else, get a different feel for him. And he said he never even grabbed up the lines. He was just too busy looking at all this stuff. But that's what this is for, to get the horses, the chance to see different things, and the gates and the people standing along the outside. And it was a whole new ball game for him. Today was a day when I guess a horse kind of went from being a boy to doing a man's job, so that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, he went around fine. Bruce said he was fine, but it'd been nice if he'd won. It's always nice to win, but yeah, I was completely satisfied.
Paid $24,000 for him. He's got some half siblings that have really produced. You're hoping you've got one of those.
Yes. When I looked at him in the sale, actually, I bought him off Anvil and Lace consignment from Kentucky there, and they do an excellent job on preparing colts. And I didn't really get a good chance to look at him where he was at in the barn there, Circleville. So I just kind of waited until they bring him out, to run through the auction. And I like what I saw, and I paid, and I've got him, but I was just about out of bullets when when he went through the auction. But yeah, he's got some good relation, and the Enterprise. I like the Enterprise breeding. I mean, you can't get enough Chapter 7 in trotting anymore. It's just that's where it's at. But yeah, it's. I'm satisfied where I'm at today.
Well, good. Well, Rusty, thanks for stopping over today, and hopefully we have a great rest of a matinee here today.
Thank you, and Mercer and the Horsemen the Horsemen Association appreciate you guys coming. It's always nice to kick off Matinee Madness at Salina. I know there's going to be a Greenville because they had some scheduling, so they bumped ahead of us. But Mother Nature didn't let those guys race last week, so we got to uphold the tradition of kicking off Matinee Madness 2023.
There you go. Let's send it over to Susan to tell us about the third.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, race number 3 is a 2:10 to 2:15 pace. The one horse is Vel Simply Schroeder. It is a straight shooter out of a Simply Savern mare. King Racing Stable owns this horse, and we do not have a driver yet. Rock the Hill is coming out of the 2-hole. Is this a racing hill out of Rock Teresa? Greg Smith is the owner, and Lane Smith will do the driving. Perfect Paradise has the 3-hole. It's a 2-year-old colt by Well Said out of It's Perfect. Robert Brooks, Here's the Stock, Matthew Snow, and Joshua Teets are owners of this colt. Chill the Wine has the 4-hole. This is a 2-year-old filly by Keystone Velocity out of Skyway Shockwave. Julie Rideout and John Graber own, and Doug Rideout's going to do the driving. And the 5-horse is Vel Quick Daisy, a 2-year-old filly by Keystone Velocity out of Quick Pulse Daisy. King Racing Stable owns, and driver is still TBA. So let's pick up the action in race number 3.
Up the backside, the outside is Perfect Paradise. Heading to the 3/4 mark. Continuing to show the way, Chill the Wine up on the outside, Rock the Hill, and Lena Stone draws up alongside the leader. Inside third is Quick Daisy, outside Perfect Paradise, entry of the far turn. Bell Simple Shooter trails the field, 3/4, 1:43 and 2, a little better than an eighth of a mile to pace, 3 wide on the outside. Perfect Paradise coming after those leaders. They're 3 across the track. It is Chill the Wine, Rock the Hill. Grandstand side, Bell Simple Shooter coming to the line. Rock the Hill needs the line. Rock the Hill.
The winner of the third, Rock the Hill, a 2-year-old gelding by Racing Hill.
Finishing second was Perfect Paradise. Third was Chill the Wine. Fourth, Quick Daisy. And fifth, Simply Shooter. Mile went in fractions were 34 and 2, 107, 143 and 2, and 212.
We have a 5-race field for race number 4, and in this race, Stone's Desire. We were able to catch up with his owner, Robert Brooks, earlier today.
Hey, we're here on the backstretch at Salina with Rob Brooks, and he's going to tell us a little bit about this colt, Stone's Desire, a 2-year-old by Major Stone. How'd this colt come about?
Well, it's kind of funny. We raced his mother. We bought her as a yearling and raced her. And when she was ready to become a broodmare, we had booked to McCardle. And it was kind of McCardle's last of his run. And we bred her 4 times, and she didn't take. So I had this Stone's Desire, or Major Stone, this colt's dad. And we raced him at Scioto. He was in the open many times, paced lots of 50 miles. And was a nice old horse, and he was a stallmate to this colt's mother in the barn, and needless to say, he loved that mare. And I said, what the heck, let's give him one try. And we bred her 1 time live cover, and she caught, and here's the result.
That is a great story. I guess true love really does work.
That's right.
And this Major Stone has produced a couple of really nice horses.
Yes, he has. He's got a filly racing at Northfield, Tiny Bit of Sky. She's been in the open many times. Ron Burke actually bought her, and she has since gotten claim from him. But yeah, I mean, the horse hasn't had much chance, but as far as breeding, many mares. But for myself, we don't sell them. We keep them and race them. So I thought, hey, we'll take a chance. And so far, he's a nice colt, but we'll see.
Good-looking colt, and we certainly wish you the best of luck today.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's always nice when you have stories like that. Robert Brooks is, he's got the one horse, and he's really happy about it, and young owners in it, and it's going to be nice to see what the horse does on the track coming up. Yeah,
a nice, hopefully he has a nice start. So this race 4 is the 210 pace. One horse is JB Chance Alley. Mark Ader is owner and will drive. Ivona is a 3-year-old filly by Luck Be With You. Jerry Schwartz out of Indiana is the owner, and Henry Graber Jr. will do the driving. 3-horse Laughing Luke is a 2-year-old gelding by He's All That out of Laughter's Diva, owned by Hartley Farms from Fremont, Ohio. Michael Wicke picked up the drive. TJ's Dance Scene, this is an 8-year-old mare by Artistic Freedom out of Don't Make a Scene. Ben Schwartz owns, and Ben will drive. And Stone's Desire, a 2-year-old colt by Major Stone out of Connie Desire. Robert Brooks is the owner, and Pierce Henry will get the drive.
Unusual to see an 8-year-old in one of these matinees.
Yes. Maybe we'll find out the story behind that one.
Well, the 8-year-old mare, TG's Dance Scene. Let's pick up the action of race number 4.
They head to the 5/8, the field of pacers, being led by TG's Dance Scene by a length. Strong Desire racing second. Racing third is Ivona. Fourth to the inside is Laughing Luke. 5 outside. JB Chance front to back, separated by only 6 lengths. TG's Dance Scene has the lead. Strong Desire, the inside, is second. Racing third on the outside is Ivona. Then comes JB Chance around the far turn. 140 and 2/5 for 3/4. Little better than an eighth of a mile to come. They're closing in on the leader. TG's Dance Scene. The Ivona's on the grandstand side. Strong Desire between horses. 3 of them across the track. It is Strong Desire coming to the line. Strong Desire, the 2-year-old gelded son of Major Stone, will take it for Pierce Henry.
Well, it's always nice when you do an interview and the owner of the horse you interview comes in and wins. As Robert says,
Yes.
as you got to the winner's circle, glad the horse is in better shape than the owner was. Took him a while to get there. But the interesting thing is that when we talked to Robert, we were talking about new owners and his owners. He's got some new people that have bought in, with some of his 2-year-olds. So it's always nice to see a 2-year-old do that well.
Absolutely. It was a nice race, a good education. He went to the back, then kind of slowly went up, sat in the 2-hole and came out again. A lot of education for that horse.
Well, we're seeing some interesting racing here with these young 2-year-olds. If you want to give the rundown of that race.
Yep. So from the top down, JB Chance was 4th. Ivona finished 2nd. Laughing Luke was 5th. TG's Dance Scene was 3rd. And your winner, the Major Stone colt, Stone's Desire. Fractions were 33, 107 and 2, 140 and 2, and 28 and 2.
So that is race 4 in the books. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have race 5 from the Mercer County Fairgrounds. For 4 generations, Hagemeyer Farms has been caring for and breeding standardbred racehorses. Hagemeyer Farms is home to a roster of champion stallions, including Western Terror, sired at 12, that have earned over $1 million. Lane of Stone, a multiple Ohio Sire Stakes winner at 2 and 3. Heart of Chewbacca, standing his first year at Hagemeyer Farms, holds the 3-year-old pacing record for the fastest mile on any 5/8 mile track in Ohio. And Rodeo Romeo, a half-brother to Millionaire Stallion Check 6. Hagemeyer Farms, looking to stand the next great stallion in Ohio.
Racing is back at El Dorado Scioto Downs. Catch the excitement all summer long in the new grandstands. Live racing every Tuesday through Saturday nights. Tuesday and Wednesday post time is 3:15. Thursday through Saturday, the first race post time is 5:50. Mark your calendar to see the future stars with a $150,000 Next Generation on July 1st. Horse players earn points with the new Caesars Rewards program. El Dorado Scioto Downs. Live racing is back.
Welcome back to the Salina Matinee today. Doug Ballinger, our announcer today, got a little break, so he decided to come over here. And Doug, this is really the kickoff of the fair season, the matinees.
It is. I was ready to go last week at Greenville, ready to walk out the door, get there a couple hours early to see the people that you've not been around in about 6 months, and you're ready to go. It's in your blood. You're ready to go.
Now, this is basically practice for these horses, these young horses, trying to see what they're made of out on the track today.
Yep. Salina, always a strong matinee. They get a lot of Indiana horses close to the Indiana border. You'll see, as you noticed throughout the first few races here today, Mike Woebkenburg, the starter, will school the horses mainly, probably about every race, because they're all 2-year-olds. Some of them, their very first time seeing that gate.
Practice for them. How about for a guy who's been doing this for a long time? A little practice for you?
Well, actually, this is usually my first go-around, but I flew back from Florida. My wife and I winter in Florida, and I flew back, filled in a couple nights for Barry Vickroy at Miami Valley in February, enjoyed that. And then last week I went down to enjoy the races at Derby Day at Miami Valley and actually called a couple races that day. So I guess I'm primed and ready to go.
You're in mid-season form already, and we haven't really taken the track yet. Why do you keep doing this? What makes it so much fun? You've been doing it for so long.
Well, this will be my 54th year. I've been blessed. Started with Roger Houston, and I was 70 years old yesterday. It makes you think.
I was going to wish you happy birthday after you answer the whole question.
It gets scary when you hit that 70 mark, but I'm going to keep going. My goal is Bill Peters and Roger Houston. I'm going to go out on a limb. Bill's 78, I would say. Roger 80. I definitely want to do it till I'm 80 years old, and that's my goal, is Bill Peters and Roger Houston. And those two guys, Roger Houston used to be the voice of the fairs throughout Ohio back in the 70s. I took over all his fairs when he had to leave Pompano and go to the Meadows. So blessed that he gave me all his county fairs, and it's just been a great part-time job. And I owe Roger Houston so much. And Roger's called 189,000 races in his career. Bill Peters has been the voice of the fairs in Ohio for, I've been doing it 54 years. Bill's probably, well, I know this will be Bill's 64th year. Roger and Bill, the same. So 64 years for Bill Peters, 64 years for Roger Houston's, 54 years for Doug Ballinger. As we mentioned, Roger Houston has called 189,000 races. Bill Peters, I'll go out on a limb, has called 35 to 40. I've called 35 to 40 in my career. Then you bring in Ayers Ratcliffe. I guess you'd call him the baby, but he's called 50,000 races in his career by, being the voice at Northfield Park, that he just resigned that position lately. But Ayers does 21 county fairs. I do 16. I think Roger's 16. So Bill, Roger, Ayers, and myself are pretty much make up the Ohio Fair Racing the Ohio Fair Racing circuit. And, we lost a great announcer this past year in Chris Patterson.
During my career, I've done baseball, I've done football, I've done hockey. People always would ask me, what's the hardest part about calling those sports? What's the hardest part about calling a race?
Well, today, a 4-horse field, filler. I love to get in a flow and use my binoculars. I feel I do so much better job at calling a race at a county fair than I do a pari-mutuel trap because I'm in it. I get those binoculars, I'm right in the race. Just bam, 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 pick them off. And I'd love to have 8 horses at a county fair, but it's not that way today. It's much easier to call an 8-horse field than a 4-horse field.
Well, we'll let you get back to the booth. Happy birthday, by the way, from everybody at the OHHA, and hopefully we'll see you around for a while longer.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Let's send it back over to Susan up for the next race.
Thanks, Frank. Let's take a look at race number 5. This is a 2.5 to 2:10 pace. The one horse, Dancing for Dollars, a 2-year-old filly by Dancing Yankee out of Allergic to Money. This horse is owned by Miller Racing Stable, Horseplay Racing, and Ed Merriman, driven by Ryan Miller. The 2, Hanging on My Luck, a 2-year-old colt by Luck Be With You out of Yank My Rope. Hartley Farm owns this 2-year-old, and the driver is Michael Wickley. Mickey Be Beautiful is a 4-year-old mare out of Always Be Mickey, by Always Be Mickey out of Beautiful. Ellen Schwartz is the owner, and Ben Schwartz will do the driving. Love's Last Dance is a 4-year-old mare, a rock and roll dance, Vision of Love. Gig Davis will be doing the driving. Gig also owns this horse. And Love to Flirt, a 3-year-old colt by Betting Line out of Regal Eltree. Ben Schwartz is up, and Ben Schwartz will drive.
They're into the turn, and Love's Last Dance has the lead. Dancing for Dollars on the inside. Up the backside, Love's Last Dance. Dance for Dollars is off stride. It is Love's Last Dance. Here comes Love to Flirt on the outside. Inside, as they head to 3/4, is Mickey Be Beautiful. The leader, Love's Last Dance. Into the far turn. Love's Last Dance by 3 parts of a length. Love to Flirt on the outside. Around the turn, Mickey Be Beautiful at the 3/4, 137-2. Around the far turn, Love's Last Dance has the lead. Here comes Hanging on My Luck from 4th to 3rd to 2nd. They're off the turn for him across the track. Dancing for Dollars is the trailer for him across the track. Love's Last Dance on the inside. Coming to the line, Hanging on My Luck. Love to Flirt and Love's Last Dance.
Hanging My Luck comes home the winner in the 5th in a time of 2:08. Right around where they want it to be in that 2:05 to 2:10. Second was Love's Last Dance. Love to Flirt was 3rd. Number 4, Mickey Be Beautiful was 4th, and 5th was Dancing for Dollars, and Ryan Miller drives and trains, and that's what you did not want to see in here. It was a break like that, working with the 2-year-old, you wanted him to stay flat.
Right, yep. She just had a little bit of trouble, and it continued, even coming down the stretch. She made another break, so that's always hard, but Ryan will be back to the drawing board and figure that all out.
So next up is the 6th. This is a trot. 2:10 to 2:15 in this trot, and we have 4 to go to the gate.
Good Greek has the rail. Owner is Roy Silander, and Roy will also drive. This is an Uncle Peter filly out of Greek Goddess. Uncle Archie has the 2-hole. Alan White is the owner, and Doug Rideout will drive. This is a Swan for All. Mare is Honorable Mother. Skyway Fearless has the 3-hole. This is a 3-year-old gelding out of Whom Shall I Fear? out of the mare Skyway J-Lo. Jerry Swartz owns and Henry Graber Jr. will drive. And the 4 horses, V Keys Little Speedy, this is a 3-year-old filly out of Woebkenburg, and V Keys Hiawatha. Owner is Hartley Farms, and the driver will be Michael Wickie.
Now it looks like the number 1 in this race, Good Greek, may be the first of the foals of Greek Goddess to make it to the track.
Yes, she Good Greek sold at the Blooded Horse Sale for $6,500, and the mare has 2 others of racing age but have not raced.
And you take a look, you've got 1 at $6,500, and then you take a look at the number 2, Uncle Archie, sold for $31,000.
Actually, that's not right because they switched horses on us.
Oh, okay, okay.
We have Uncle Archie and Uncle Winner in today, and they're switched a little bit. So in this race, it's Uncle Archie, who is an Indiana-bred horse.
So we'll have Uncle Winner later on today?
Well, later on today,
okay, so
yes.
we'll have Uncle Winner a little later on. So that's the 6th, and let's head to pick up the action of race number 6.
They're off the turn. They're on their way to the 3/4. Leading away, Skyway Fearless. Uncle Archie closing in with every stride. Good Greek is 3rd. Vicky's Little Speedy is the trailer. By the 3/4 and into the far turn, it is Skyway Fearless by 5 lengths. Uncle Archie is 2nd. Good Greek 3rd. Vicky's Little Speedy trails the field. 3/4 in 1:38. They arrive at the top of the stretch, and Skyway Fearless the leader, but is off stride. Skyway Fearless has jumped it off. Uncle Archie and Doug Rideout inherit that lead. It is Uncle Archie all alone on the line. Uncle Archie, Doug Rideout to take the 6th. Skyway Fearless will be 3rd. Good Greek.
Race 6 is in the book, and Uncle Archie comes into this race and comes away the winner in 2:10 and 2/5.
Owner was Alan White, and the driver Doug Rideout. He was sitting 2nd, and then the horse that was on the front made a break, so Uncle Archie took advantage of that break and went on to win.
Skyway Fearless finished 2nd after the break. 3rd was Good Greek, and 4th, V Keys Little Speedy brought up the field. Final time 2:10. The other times?
Fractions were 34 and 2, 107 and 2, 138, and then 210 and 2.
And everybody's been pretty much trying to stay within that block, and it looks like they've done a really good job of staying in that time block that they've got. This was 210 to 215, and went in 210 and 2/5.
And that's really helpful that one doesn't take off and go. Sometimes with those baby trotters, it's a little hard because if they make a break, they get back, and this race was a little more spread out than most. But all the rest of the races have been tight finishes and good experiences.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back to Salina, Ohio, and the Mercer County Fairgrounds, we will have race number 7 right after this.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
For 4 generations, Hagemeyer Farms has been caring for and breeding standardbred racehorses. Hagemeyer Farms is home to a roster of champion stallions, including Western Terror, sired at 12, that have earned over $1 million. Lane of Stone, a multiple Ohio Sire Stakes winner at 2 and 3. Heart of Chewbacca, standing his first year at Hagemeyer Farms, holds the 3-year-old pacing record for the fastest mile on any 5/8 mile track in Ohio. And Rodeo Romeo, a half-brother to Millionaire Stallion Check 6. Hagemeyer Farms, looking to stand the next great stallion in Ohio.
Welcome back to the matinee here at Salina. We are joined by Ryan Miller, who's a trainer from Greenville, Ohio. Ryan has brought 1 horse here today to race, but you are very active in the fractional ownerships. Can you tell how a person can get involved in something like that in a small way?
Yeah, I think they're hopefully going forward will be a big part of the harness racing. we use Jessica Schroeder with Horseplay Racing Stable, and basically she does a real good job. She sends emails out to everybody, keeping them, letting them know what's going on with their horses. That's now my job then to make sure she's getting enough quality information. I try to do the best I can. I know there's other organizations out there. Anthony McDonald's got one. I think there's VIP. I can't name them all, but I think it's something we need to do more. It's, you can, like Anthony Mack says, own a little, love it a lot.
Yes.
And it's a great phrase, but it's really neat. Jessica does a great job, and I enjoy it. I get to meet people, even they may only own 1%, but I get to meet a lot of people, and hopefully they have a lot of fun, because it's a great sport. We need more people involved.
And like you said, you can own 1%, but it's still your horse when you're in the winner's circle, your horse when you watch them coming down the stretch.
Yes, yeah, it is cool. It's a fun. I dreamed of being in the sport and watched my grandfather have horses. All I ever wanted to do, and now I own quarters and halves of probably 20, 25 and some brood mares. So I started with one and eventually built my way up, and now I've got guys that have been with Horseplay who have graduated on to being, I guess you could say, a real-time owner, and now they own 3-4 horses with me. I'm not going to mention names, but Rod Cooper. But anyways, it's really neat how some of them can graduate on, and I think that's the design of it. Maybe you don't have to stay with one of those. It's a good stepping stone to maybe owning a quarter or a half, because it's not a scary thing after you own 1% of one.
Kind of get you indoctrinated into how things work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're also active with the Harness Horse Youth Foundation, which you were a camper when you were a kid, and you've done something really interesting with a 4-H group. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Emily Hay contacted me and really wanted to come down to see our horses, and she kind of wanted to put some type of an auction together. So we had, I don't even know, maybe 12 or 15 kids come out, and we just went through the barn. I kind of told them about some of their traits, good and bad. Some of them had raced before, some of them hadn't. And after we went through them, I think they kind of all had a favorite they liked. And we went through and we auctioned them off. They had a certain amount. I don't know exactly how they did it, but somehow they all had different sets of money. So they must have won it, fake money somehow. And we went through and auctioned them off. Some kids got 2 horses, some got 1. And now Emily's going to make them follow along. She showed them how to use, show them how to use the USTA. They can look up their horses, and they have to basically keep track of how they're doing, and they'll have like a fantasy stable of their own.
What a great idea to get kids involved. And you're doing little videos for the Harness Horse Youth Foundation. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we had the Annie Project, and that's the filly we got in today. Her official name is Dancing for Dollars. And we basically, I've been doing a lot of videos for them and follow along from start to finish. But we broke her. I did some videos for them, training down, and now she's here matineeing and hopefully racing in a month or so. And they get to follow along pretty much from the very beginning, shooting videos and everything.
That's great. Educating everybody is really important in this business.
It's something I want to do. I like it. I really enjoy it. I really do enjoy it.
Good. Thank you, Ryan, for spending a few minutes with us, and we're going to shoot it back to Frank for the 7th race.
Thanks, Susan. This is a 2:10 to 2:15 pace, race number 7. The number 1 is Vel Stormy, owned by King Racing Stable out of Wilshire, Ohio, by Lost in Time out of Galestorm. The number 2 is Vel Little Sally. King Racing Stable also owns this horse. The number 3 is Vel I'm a Winner. Rock and Roll Heaven is the sire of this, owned by Hartley Farms out of Fremont, Ohio. And the number 4 is Vel Mr. Backfire. Keystone Velocity is the sire out of Can't Dance Without Gin. And this one is also owned by King Racing Stable out of Wilshire, Ohio. So they have 3 of the 4 in this race. Let's pick up the action for race number 7.
Move into the turn. Quick pace from Vel Mr. Backfire. Draws up alongside Vel Little Stormy. It's Vel Little Stormy and Vel Mr. Backfire. They're going at it on the front end. Here comes Vel I'm a Winner, and off stride Vel Little Sally. Going to the 3/4 mark. The outside as they move into the far turn to grab the lead is Vel Mr. Backfire, 138 and 3. Vel Little Sally is next. Racing on the outside, Vel I'm a Winner, Very Little Sally. Top of the stretch with an 1/8 of a mile to come. Vel Mr. Backfire with the lead. Vel Little Sally is on the outside. They're inside the final 8th mile. Clint Coy and Vel Mr. Backfire. Vel Mr. Backfire. Vel Little Sally up the inside. Vel Stormy from Vel I'm a Winner.
Right, race 7 is in the books. This was the 2:10 to 2:15 pace, and they beat that time a little bit. The race went in 2:08 and 2. Clint Coy picks up the winning drive on Vel Mr. Backfire, owned by King Racing Stable. Finishing second, Vel Little Sally. Third was Vel Stormy. And fourth was Vel I'm a Winner. Fractions for that mile were 234 and 2, 105 and 3, 138 and 3, and 28 and 2. Moving right into race number 8, this is a 2:10 to 2:15 pace. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the first horse. Straight Razor is the one horse. This is a lather-up colt out of a Western mare is Western Charmer. Western Charmer had her last foal, which was Straight Razor, at age 20. 13 different foals have all sold at public auction for between $9,000 and $90,000. And talking to Bob Geist earlier today, he thinks that he maybe has the bargain because he bought this colt for $9,000. Western Charmer's foals have won over $1 million. So this is a nice family, and we're looking forward to watching Straight Razor from the one hole.
And you breed that with a horse like Lather Up. You know, the mare has thrown some really good horses, and now you've got Lather Up in the breeding as well, so something to be excited about.
Yes, yes, it's going to be interesting to watch. Number 2 horse is Crown City Cruiser. This is a Luck Be With You out of Virtual Maureen. Clint Coy and John Lewin are the owners. Clint is going to drive. Vel Lickety Split, a 2-year-old colt by Lost in Time out of Lick Creek, Francis. King Racing Stable from Wilshire, Ohio owns this colt. Vel Lang Chris, 2-year-old out of Ponder, for the mare Lily Langtree. King Racing Stable also owns this. And finishing up the King Racing Stable trifecta is Vel Piece of Cake by Straight Shooter out of Cupcake Craze. So the King Racing Stable have the 3, 4, and 5 horse. Clint Coy owns the 2, and Mr. Geist, who is the former superintendent of speed here at the Mercer County Fair, owns the 1 horse Straight Razor.
Let's pick up the action of race number 8.
As they arrive at the 5/8, it is Crown City Cruiser by a length. Here comes Vel Lickety Split for Doug Rideout. He's third and out and on the move. Straight Razor is now third. Fourth is Vel Lang Chris. Vel Piece of Cake is the traitor. The midpoint of the backside and closing on the outside. Vel Lickety Split. Moving to the outside is Vel Lang Chris. They're into the far turn. It is Crown City Cruiser with the lead. Vel Lickety Split on the outside. Straight Razor pinned in third, 140 for 3/4. They arrive at the top of the stretch, and Vel Lickety Split has grabbed the lead. Crown City Cruiser is next. Straight Razor racing third. Vel Lang Chris is fourth. Vel Piece of Cake is fifth on the outside. They're inside the final 16th and battling back to retake Crown City Cruiser. Crown City Cruiser over Vel Lickety Split.
Crown City Cruiser got up at the wire with Clint Coy driving. He also owns Crown City Cruiser to win the 8th race.
It was a nice finishing race. All the horses were right there. Vel Lickety Split finished second. Vel Lang Chris was third. Straight Razor finished fourth, and Vel Piece of Cake was fifth. 108 and 4 to the half, 140 3/4, mile and 2:11 and 4.
Well, Doug Ballinger said it was a photo for show. You know, Crown City Cruiser won it by about a neck, but then you had everybody else right there. Probably the closest race we've had today so far.
Yeah, nice race.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the field for the 9th from the Mercer County Fairgrounds.
Racing is back at El Dorado Scioto Downs. Catch the excitement all summer long in the new grandstands. Live racing every Tuesday through Saturday nights. Tuesday and Wednesday post time is 3:15. Thursday through Saturday, the first race post time is 5:50. Mark your calendar to see the future stars with a $150,000 Next Generation on July 1st. Horse players earn points with the new Caesars Rewards program. El Dorado Scioto Downs. Live racing is back.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Welcome back to the Mercer County Fairgrounds as we get set for our 9th race of 14. 50 years ago today, a 14-year-old Tony Morgan, an Ohio Hall of Famer, drove Peach Kona to a win in the Mercer County Matinee. As you heard earlier today, Rusty Vorhees said this was the 52nd one of those, and 50 years ago, Tony Morgan drove a winner here, as did our judge today, Paul Combs. He was the winner with Thornboy in one of the trotting races. So you can see the history here at Salina and the Mercer County Fairgrounds. So let's take a look at the field for the 9th.
Okay, the one horse is Jesmac All My Heart. This is an Indiana bred colt by You Know You Do out of Aerial Fashion. Greg Runyon is the owner and will drive. 2 horse Full Coverage, a filly by Swan for All out of Antsy Dancy. Julie Rideout and Joe Cotton are the owners, and Doug Rideout will drive. 3 horses Uncle Winner, a 2-year-old colt by Uncle Peter out of Broadway Photo. Dalton Walls is the trainer and owner, and Ronnie Gillespie, our leading driver at the fairs last year, will drive. And Scratch Off Ticket, a 2-year-old colt by What the Hill out of Bernice G. Hanover, owned by Susan Bates, and Ty Bates will drive. Scratch Off Ticket has the 4-hole.
I'm not sure I heard you. Who was the driver of the 3? Could you please repeat that for me?
We had a little bet, and I lost.
I'm
It is Ronnie Gillespie.
Would that be Ronnie G., who was just featured in one of our freshman focuses?
Yes, Frank was correct this time.
You were saying?
So, Uncle Winner, that Dalton Walls has, sold for $31,000 as a yearling. So this is the most expensive yearling that I found in here today. Of course, we weren't able to check all the Indiana breds, but for Ohio breds, this is a nice horse.
And who's driving that one more time?
That would be Ronnie Gillespie.
Well, let's see how Ronnie does. Let's pick up the action of the 9th here at the Mercer County Fairgrounds.
Halfway home, they're at the half in 105 3/5 with the lead. Uncle Winner by 3. Second is Scratch Off Ticket. Third on the outside, Full Coverage. Just Mock All My Heart trails the field. Up the backside they go on the outside. Full Coverage is after that leader, Uncle Winner. Racing third is Scratch Off Ticket. Just Mock All My Heart trails the field. They near 3/4. They're into the far turn. It is Uncle Winner by 3 parts of a length. Full Coverage to his outside. Scratch Off Ticket is third. Just Mock All My Heart trails the field. 139 3. Trotters come to the top of the stretch. It is Uncle Winner turning for home by 2 on the outside. Full Coverage racing third. Scratch Off Ticket. Just Mock All My Heart inside the final 16th. Uncle Winner is the winner. Uncle Winner for Ronnie Gillespie.
Susan, you know, everything in the world is right when you have a fair race and Ronnie Gillespie winning. It just seems that, everything is right.
Yeah. Dalton must have had a lot of confidence in this colt, because you wouldn't have brought Ronnie in otherwise. And he certainly lived up to the hype, lived up to his purchase price. 2-year-old Uncle Peter colt just trotted mile in 2:08. That's a nice mile, really nice mile. He came last quarter in 28-4.
And Ronnie did what Ronnie does. He went to the lead, knew where everybody was behind him, and able to bring him home very easily. And like you said, that final quarter of 28-4.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So that's race number 9. Before we head on to race 10, earlier today, Susan had the chance to talk up to the only female driver that we had at the matinee today, and that is Mandy Jones.
We're here on the Salina backstretch with Mandy Jones. Mandy, you're the only female driver in today, which is a lot of places that you go.
Yes, it is. It's kind of unusual, but since it's male dominated, but I enjoy it. It's fun.
As you said, it is a male dominated sport, but then the females get together and race in the ladies' paces. How are those going?
Good. I think we're about 10, 11 years into a series. It's really grown from when we started, and it gives females an opportunity to showcase what they can do instead of behind the scenes that we mostly are. So it's a good opportunity and a lot of them have went off to drive in bigger races. We got Jasmine and Alicia and Kiara, and you can go on and on. That's made a name for themselves.
It's amazing, too, we always hear from the fairs that those are some of the best bet races that there is at the fairs. And I think it's because you're so competitive.
Yeah, I think so. You know, we go at it all the time. You don't give breaks. So it's very competitive, and you just don't ever know what's going to happen.
You've got a 3-year-old in today. You said it's only his second time from home, so he hasn't raced before.
He had 2 starts last year at Greenville Fair and then here at Salina Fair. So this is his second time away from home. So we'll see. He's very young and inexperienced, so it just gives him a little bit of experience, I guess.
I've also seen you behind the counter at a food truck at some fairs. What's that about?
Yeah, so I grew up in a restaurant-based family. My dad's had restaurants his whole life. And so when he sold out his last restaurant, I said, hey, let's get a food truck. And so we've had it 4 years, and it's a lot of fun. We go a lot of places, meet a lot of people. But yeah, you always have to keep the food in the background.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck today and all summer. And we might see Yes I Did in some of the ladies' races this summer.
That's a possibility. We'll see how it goes.
Next up is the 10th race, a 2:10 to 2:15 pace, and 5 will go behind the Mike Woebkenburg starting gate.
The one is Parker's Girl. Mark Ader Jr. will drive and is also the owner. This is a bit of a legend filly out of Can't Best My Art. Vel Life is Good has a 2-hole. This is another one of the King Racing stable. This is a 2-year-old filly by Rock and Roll Heaven out of All Well That Ends Well. Vel Little Blister has the 3-hole. This is a Rock and Roll Heaven filly, again, out of Bruiser's Sister, King Racing Stable, the owner, and Brad Ferguson will drive. The 4 is Here's Popeye, a 2-year-old colt by Bit of the Legend End, out of Elm Grove in a Rush. Robert Brooks. Here's the Stock. Annie Wilfer Kayer are the owners, and Pierce Henry is going to do the driving. Doctor's Yankee, King Racing Stable owns this 2-year-old filly. And I have Brad Ferguson, but I don't think he's going to drive 2 of them, so we will wait to find out who's driving. The one horse is a half-sister to a horse called Cruisin' Artie, who has a mark of 52-3, and that is the Parker's Girl. And the 4 is Ohio-bred Here's Popeye. And this is her first foal in Elm Grove in a Rush. The mare had a mark of 51-2 and made $312,000, so you know why they kept her to breed.
So 3 of the horses in this race are the King Racing Stable. 18 of them they brought here for this matinee. So a lot of King Racing Stable horses in this matinee today. So we are set. Let's pick up the action in the 10th.
To the 5/8 they go. Guiding the field to the backside is DR's Yankee. He has a length lead over Vel Life is Good. Parker's Girl along the pylons is 3rd. Will need racing room. Here's Popeye is 4th. And moving to the outside as they arrive at 3/4 is Vel Little Blister. The field is only separated by 4 to 5 lengths. They're into the far turn. DR's Yankee has the field by 3/4 in 139 and 4. They circle the far turn. Parker's Girl on the outside is second. Set to come 3 wide. Off the turn is Fell Little Blister. 3 of them across the track. DR's Yankee, Parker's Girl, Fell Little Blister is on the grandstand side. Coming to the line, DR's Yankee and Brad Ferguson.
That was the 10th race. Your winner, Doctor's Yankee. Parker's Girl finished second. Vel Little Blister third. Here's Popeye was fourth, and Vel Life is Good finished fifth.
Fractions were 35, 108, 139 and 2, and 29 and 2. So last quarter in 30 seconds flat.
And that race had a recall at the very start of it, which is something that these horses have got to get used to. It does happen every now and then.
Not very often at a matinee, though.
No, that's what Doug Ballinger said as Mike Woebkenburg threw on the recall lights. Ronnie Gillespie had a little trouble reining his in as really wanted to go. So coming up with the 11th, this is one of those races when you've only got 2 horses in it. And it's just going to be more of a training mile for these horses.
Right, we are scratched down to a field of 2. Vel Let's Rock and Roll has the rail. This 2-year-old filly is by Rock and Roll Heaven out of Brooklyn's Best, another of the King Racing Stable horses. And Pretty Girl Dragon will have the 2-hole. This is a Fear the Dragon out of Pretty Girl Hanover. Rob Brooks. Here's the stock. Matthew Snow and Joshua Teets are the owners. This horse sold for $8,000 at the Ohio Selected Sale.
So just a 2-horse field. So let's pick up the action in the 11th.
Half in 109 and 2/5. Round the turn to the 5/8 they go. Pretty Girl Dragon continues to show the way and has a 2-length lead and will guide the fillies all over to the 3/4. Vel Rock and Roll second. Vel Flight on Time will move to the outside for Clint Coy from third, and moving up on the leaders, Pretty Girl Dragon continues to show. Vel Flight on Time on the outside, to her inside, Vel Let Rock and Roll. They're into the far turn. Pretty Girl Dragon has the field by 3/4, 144 and 3. They arrive at the top of the stretch, and Pretty Girl Dragon clinging to that lead. Vel Flight on Time is second. Vel Flight Rock and Roll third. Inside the final 8th mile, Pretty Girl Dragon coming to the line. Pretty Girl Dragon and Pierce Henry home a winner.
Your winner of the 11th was Pretty Girl Dragon, the 2-year-old filly by Fear the Dragon out of Pretty Girl Hanover, owned by Robert Brooks. Here's the stock. Matthew Snow and Joshua Teets. Second went to Vel's Let's Rock and Roll, and third, Vel Flight on Time. Time of the mile was 2:13 and 2. They went the first quarter in 36 and 2, 109 and 2 to the half, 144 and 3 for 3/4. Final quarter in 28 and 4, mile in 2:13 and 2. Let's send it down to Susan Schroeder and one of the new owners of Pretty Girl Dragon.
We are here with winning owner and new owner Josh Teets, and he has just gotten into the business, so we're going to find out a little bit about. You have 2 horses in today?
Yes, 2 horses in today. Pretty Girl Dragon and Perfect Paradise.
And Pretty Girl Dragon just won out here in convincing fashion.
She did. I'm very happy. Very happy.
How long have you been in the business?
These are my first horses. Got them last year, and first matinee, so I'm very happy with how they did today, actually. Very happy.
I see you had quite a few people in the winner's circle with you. Who else owns this horse?
So my uncle is one of the owners, as well as the trainer, Robert Brooks, and gentleman, we just met him today, but he's been owner, Matt Snow. So he's also an owner as well.
Well, what a fun thing to get together, and especially to come to a matinee and win right away. It just must be great.
It is. It is. I definitely had a great time today.
Are you hooked?
I was hooked before I owned them, but yes, yes. I definitely am hooked now.
Well, great, and congratulations to the new ownership group, and it was a very, very nice race that she just did last quarter in 28 and 4, I think it was.
Thank you so much.
We'll shoot it off to a commercial right now.
For 4 generations, Hagemeyer Farms has been caring for and breeding standardbred racehorses. Hagemeyer Farms is home to a roster of champion stallions, including Western Terror, sired at 12, that have earned over $1 million. Lane of Stone, a multiple Ohio Sayer Stakes winner at 2 and 3. Heart of Chewbacca, standing his first year at Hagemeyer Farms, holds the 3-year-old pacing record for the fastest mile on any 5/8 mile track in Ohio. And Rodeo Romeo, a half-brother to Millionaire Stallion Check 6. Hagemeyer Farms, looking to stand the next great stallion in Ohio.
Racing is back at El Dorado Scioto Downs. Catch the excitement all summer long in the new grandstands. Live racing every Tuesday through Saturday nights. Tuesday and Wednesday post time is 3:15. Thursday through Saturday, the first race post time is 5:50. Mark your calendar to see the future stars with a $150,000 Next Generation on July 1st. Horse players earn points with the new Caesars Rewards program. El Dorado Scioto Downs. Live racing is back.
Okay, race 12 coming up is our only all Ohio bred race. We are scratched down to that because the one Indiana bred in this scratched out, the 3-horse. The 1 is Countess Catherine, a full count out of Hooray Katie, owned by Mick Foster, driven by Ty Bates. The 2, Pierre Serenade, a 2-year-old filly by Uncle Peter out of Striking Serenade. Ted Gowron is the owner. Dollars for Doris, owned by Suzanne Bates. This is a filly out of by Wit, out of April Fooling, and Ty Bates to drive. And the 5 is Champa Bay Hall, a 2-year-old creatine filly out of Angela Hall. Greg Smith and Paul Sunderhouse are the owners, and Paul is up to drive. So let's go to race number 12.
They're off the turn. They're on their way to the 3/4. The leader, Dollars for Doris. Countess Catherine on the outside. Pierre Serenade. Champa Bay Hall will move to the outside. 3/4 in 1:43 and 3. Midway round the far turn. Dollars for Doris has the lead by 18. Countess Catherine is second. Pierre Serenade third. Champa Bay Hall will jump it off. They're off the turn, on their way home. Dollars for Doris, drawing away with every stride. Dollars for Doris. Countess Catherine second, Pierre Serenade home third, and Champa Bay Hall will finish fourth.
The winner of the 12th was Dollars for Doris. Ty Bates drove Dollars for Doris to the win. Countess Catherine was second. Pierre Serenade was third, and Champs Bay Hill finished fourth.
Fractions were 35 seconds, 109, 143, and 3, 219, and this was a 220 to 225 trot, so busted that time bar a little bit.
Yeah,
but
last quarter 35 and 2, and as Dollars for Doris was coming down the stretch, you were saying getting tired.
She looked a little tired,
so.
But she was all out. She was out a long ways all by herself the whole mile. So you know, you get a little tired and weary and saying, well, there's nobody else around me.
You also lose your focus a little bit. You know, we see that in baseball. You are a big baseball fan. You get a pitcher who's up by 10, 12 runs. They kind of lose their focus.
Yeah.
Don't bear down and throw as hard as they could. Same things with these horses here. They're out by themselves and you want to do it. Just got a little bit tired, but able to bring it home for Ty Bates was Dollar for Doris, which was a $6,000 purchase at the Buckeye Classic sale. So let's take a look now at our 13th race of the day, and you know what race that is, Susan?
I do.
What race is it, Susan?
It's the Pentultimate.
There you go, Susan's favorite word.
So race 13 is a 210 to 215 time bar pace. The 1-horse Vel Ed, another one of the King Racing stable. Keystone Velocity 2-year-old colt out of Miss Intuition. The 2 horses Swiss Cotton, Tell It Like It Is out of Some Cotton. This is a 2-year-old colt. Julie Rideout is the owner, and Doug Rideout will drive. The 3 is Scratched. The 4 is Oh So High, an Ohio-bred horse by Nob Hill High out of Knockout Pout. Greg Smith will drive, and Lane Smith is going to, or Greg Smith owns, and Lane Smith will drive. And Notorious Luck, a Luck Be With You 2-year-old colt out of Steppen Hanover. K&G Racing owns, and Clint Coy will drive.
So that's the field for the 13th. Let's pick up the action of the 13th.
Halfway home in 105. They head on over to the 5/8 and showing away. Veled, but out and on the move on the outside. From third and now second, Notorious Luck. He puts a head and neck in front. Up the backside they go. Veled gives way second. Swiss Cotton will move to the outside third. Oh So High trails the field into the far turn on the retake. Veled battles back. Veled on the inside, the outside. Notorious Luck, Swiss Cotton third. Oh So High is fourth. 3/4, 1:37.2. They're at the top of the stretch. It is Veled as they turn for home on the outside. Notorious Luck is second. Swiss Cotton is third. Oh So High is fourth. Coming to the line, Notorious Luck getting up on the outside, but battling back, Swiss Cotton and Doug Rideout.
Swiss Cotton looked like it was shot out of a cannon coming down the stretch. Doug Rideout able to weave through horses and gets up for the win in 2:05.2.
You were right. It was just shot out. We all looked at it and said, whoa. It was an amazing burst of speed there at the end. And they came in the last half in 1:02. So fractions of that race were 33-3, 105, 137-2, and 25-2. 3/4 maybe a little off, because that would mean that colt came home in 27 and something. So
second place went to Notorious Luck, third to Veled, and fourth to Oh So High. So you know what that does? That brings us to our final race of the day, the matinee, the 14th. 5 horses in this. And Susan, who do we have in the final race?
coming from the rail is Vel Trust in Time, a 2-year-old gelding by Lost in Time out of Trust My Heart, King Racing Stable. Alex on the Move, a 2-year-old gelding by Western Hanover out of Woman Rebels. Owner is Rick Estel, and Pierce Henry is slated to drive. Gold Chocolate is a 2-year-old gelding by I'm Gorgeous out of Chocolate Beach. Gary Gilliand is the owner, and Doug Rideout is driving. The 4 is another King Racing Stable horse, Vel Hensley. And the 5 is Easter's Pet, a 2-year-old filly by Pet Rock out of Easter Surprise, owned by Ken Briggs and Gary Loy, and Chris Hope is down to drive.
So that's the field. The number 2, Alex on the Move, a full brother to Woman of Terror with a mark of 51-2 and earned $168,000, but Prejudice earned just under $200,000. Full brother to Prejudice as well.
Yeah, this is a nice family that Alex on the Move comes from. The 3-horse Gold Chocolate was purchased at the Buckeye Classic sale for $9,000, and the 5 was sold at the Buckeye Classic also for $8,500.
So that's the field of the 14th. Let's pick up the action of our final race of the day.
Into the turn to the 5/8 they go. Vel Trust in Time with the lead. A little steppy, and on the gallop all stride is Gold Chocolate. With that miscue, but is back down pacing. Vel Hensley is now second. Racing third, moving up the inside. Pierce Henry and Alex on the move. And on the outside, Gold Chocolate will trail. They near 3/4. Vel Trust in Time has the lead. Alex on the move on the outside. Racing third, Vel Trust in Time. Gold Chocolate trails the field. They're at 3/4. They move into the far turn. 3/4, 141-3. They circle the far turn. Vel Trust in Time, the one to catch. Racing second is Alex on the Move. Gold Chocolate is next. To the inside is Vel Hensley through the lane. Vel Trust in Time. It's all Vel Trust in Time.
Final race of the day goes to Vel Trust in Time in a time of 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And you said it, they busted the time bar on that one.
Yeah, it was a 2:20 to 2:25 pace, so he did bust that one.
Second to Alex on the Move. Third was Vel Hensley. And 4 was Gold Chocolate, who looked good coming to the half, but then had a break and just finished fourth and faded back.
Horse looked like he had extreme speed. Just was having a little hard time handling it.
Well, that's going to do it for us from the Mercer County Fairgrounds and Matinee Madness kicking off the season. We will be back again tomorrow with our second Matinee Madness, that one from Washington Courthouse. We want to thank Rusty Vorhees and the Mercer County Harness Horsemen's Association for everything today, making our job easy to do that. So, Susan, any final thoughts?
Well, we saw a recall, which you don't very often see at a matinee, and we saw a wood shaft bike out here, so it was a good
Which
day.
you
at
don't
Mercer,
see
which
either
you do
too-
not
too
see. Well,
often,
nope.
so.
It was a great day here.
Well, that'll do it for us. For Matt Clark, Susan Schroeder, I'm Frank Fraas, and we'll see you tomorrow from Washington Courthouse. Goodbye, everybody. This has been Matinee Madness. Matinee Madness is presented by the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center, Hagemeyer Farm, and El Dorado Scioto Downs. Matinee Madness is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.